Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name is Imogen. In today's video, I'm talking about the concept of like parallel careers and lives. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So what is the concept of parallel careers and lives? The concept of having parallel careers and lives is the idea that you don't have to stick to one thing, that you can be a multifaceted person, okay, and that you can have multiple lives or multiple careers all at the same time, and you can do it without getting burned out, and you can actually find a lot of joy in the process. Now, you might be about to come after me in the comments being like, Imogen, that's totally not sustainable, that's a recipe for burnout, what are you talking about? But I've been there, okay? Believe me. And I am going to give you some examples from my life as to like different aspects of my personality. Now, I'm not saying that you should have a double life or anything that stresses you out, but I'm more sort of making the point that it's okay and it's doable, and it's actually really beneficial to have a lot of strings to your bow and have a lot of facets to your skill set, to your career, to your life, and that diversifying your abilities and diversifying your personality and your life in that way is actually hugely beneficial. Okay, so let me give you some examples. And this is more of a concept video than a how-to. If you want to know how I manage everything, and this is kind of like a video which is talking about the everything that I manage and why you should also have an everything. But if you want to know how I manage everything, I made a video on that. So go and check that out as well if you want to know how I juggle all of this stuff. But having said that, I graduated from Durham, so I have a whole sort of knowledge of Durham as a student. I was born and grew up in Cambridge, so I have a whole life in Cambridge and knowing about Cambridge and having my favourite spots in Cambridge. I love to travel, so there's that aspect of me that is a sort of proficient solo traveller and has been to a bunch of countries and is going to more countries. I obviously produce a lot of content for this YouTube channel, so there's a significant aspect of my personality that is expressed through being a YouTuber, through talking on camera, and that takes a whole different skill set. I am an ice skater, so obviously I'm not professional, I'm an amateur ice skater, but there's a whole different skill set and group of people around me in that context. I play Dungeons and Dragons because I'm a huge nerd, so I have a whole different character in game for that that I've designed and so on and so forth, and written her backstory. I am developing my career, okay? I have a real passion for environmental science and for working with data, okay? So all of these things are completely different, and they are all facets of my personality. And I guess if I was an animator at this point, I could have a whole mind map spread out above my head with all of these things, and I am not at that level of advanced editing yet, but maybe we'll get there one day. Anyway, I just told you all the things, and obviously there are other aspects to it. So there's the other aspect of me that likes to read, that likes to write, that likes to cook. So all of these things are really important to have, and important to understand the concept that it's not selfish and it's not unrealistic to try and manage it all. But there are some things that I've decided that I don't want to do. So for example, I won't be having children. I've made a video on being child-free and what that means, so if you're interested, go and check that out. So obviously there are some things that I decided on in my path and that maybe are less conventional, but I think it's really important to understand the concept of you can do many things and you can be many different things in many different scenarios, and being a multifaceted person is fantastic for your mental health because firstly, you'll never get bored. Secondly, you're always learning new skills. Thirdly, you're always meeting new people. And finally, you're getting yourself outside of your comfort zone and you're building confidence, okay? Now, there's a risk of burnout. And I know I talked about this earlier in the video saying, this sounds unrealistic because you'll burn out. But hear me out, okay? I've done loads of videos on how to avoid burnout. So if you want to know more about that, go check those out. But in terms of burnout and in terms of developing a multifaceted personality and having all of these sort of parallel careers, parallel lives going on, the number one thing that you need to know to avoid burnout is that you don't have to do it all at once, okay? So sometimes things will take more effort at certain times than they do at others, or you'll need to work on something once a month but something else once a week, okay? So you can totally have a bunch of different things going on at the same time, but you don't have to burn out over it, okay? And understanding how to give yourself grace and approach it through the lens of like curiosity, okay? So the reason that I do all of these things and that I'm so interested in personal development and in becoming a multifaceted person is just, seriously, I have the curiosity of a child, okay? Like, I am so immensely like intellectually curious that I get upset if I'm not allowed to learn things, okay? Like, if I go a certain amount of time without learning a new fact or a new skill, I low-key get depressed, okay? So having a lot of things on the go is actually really beneficial for my mental health because it stops me sort of falling into that place where I feel really low, where I feel really useless, and I feel really bored, okay? So it's okay to have that kind of like tension in your life, and it's okay to like want it all, okay? I know a lot of the time people say, oh, you know, you can't want it all, like that's greedy, it's selfish, it's unrealistic. No, bullshit, okay? If you are smart about it and you are proactive about your self-care and proactive about managing and avoiding your burnout, okay, then it's absolutely possible. And it can actually be the source of a lot of joy, but you need to approach it with that sort of positive mindset of, this is something I want to do, not something I have to do. And if you approach it from that mindset, you can actually get a lot of joy out of bringing variety into your life, okay? So I hope I've given you a little insight into the concept of like parallel careers, parallel lives, and becoming a multifaceted person. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram. I'll see you next time. Okay, go and have fun. Bye.